Hola, hola, hola. I wanted to come in and talk about some safety and sanitation. However, if you're watching the replay, if you can just say replay in the comments so that I know that you were here on the replay, and I will be glad, more than glad, to talk to you in the comments. I'm going to go ahead and invite some folks in so we can try and get some people here. See who we can get. We're going to talk about, preventing breakouts, but overall, with the coronavirus going around, how to keep your makeup clean, how to, what to do with your skincare. And I'm going to post some resources in the group as well. So let's wait and see if we get some folks here. And if not, then we will proceed. I think I was in the group. Again, I didn't bring my iPad. And I should have. So I don't know what's going on by you, but here in Wisconsin, the governor announced around 4:30 that all schools up, like kindergarten or whatever K number they start at these days, all the way through 12th grade are canceled, I believe, through April 6th. So that's a good 2 weeks. I think they were going to be going on spring break soon anyway. I always hated when spring break was separate from Easter, and Easter is not until April 12th. But that's a long time. And then if they go back and end up going back on spring break, and I was just reading about people's loved ones and having to really make some tough life decisions, like really small private funerals, and not being able to honor their loved one the way that they want to, because large gatherings are kind of being prohibited. So that's the real side of all of this. And I wanted to talk beauty, sanitation, and cleanliness, because that's one of the things that will really help prevent the spread of it. Is number one, washing your hands frequently. Sanitizer is great, but as much as you can, washing your hands and washing them properly. 20 seconds. I was always taught to sing happy birthday to yourself twice, and people do it wrong most often. They put a little soap and then they immediately go under the water. You need to soap and lather in between your knuckles and upwards of your arm, and then you rinse. So 20 seconds singing happy birthday twice. Okay, so come on in and say hello and we will get started. So that's the first thing, is washing your hands frequently. The other one that you hear about is not touching your face. So I don't know about you, that's tough for me. I touch my face a lot. I was on the phone with my bestie just a little while ago, and we're talking to her, and my finger, like, I've got the phone, I'm holding it, and I actually am touching my face with a finger or two while I'm holding the phone. So touching your face, makeup helps me not touch my face, and that's a good thing. Are the comments just not displaying? Are y'all talking to me? Because I don't see any comments, but I can see that people are actually on here. So not touching your face. And I know that that can be a challenge for me, so I wanted to come in and give some refresher, because I know we've probably talked about this in this group more than once, in terms of keeping your makeup clean and sanitized, okay? So I know most of you are not makeup artists, but makeup artists should know and practice good cleanliness and sanitation practices. And you should ask, and you should be inspecting for that whenever you go to sit in someone's chair, regardless of coronavirus or not. They should always be using clean brushes on you, okay? Those brushes need to be cleaned and disinfected, especially if they use them on someone prior to you. You should see them spraying those brushes down. So if you are working with a makeup artist for your wedding or special event or whatever, if they are not disinfecting their brushes and you know that they just had another client, you need to get up out the chair, because you can get MRSA, you can get other nasty things if they are using dirty makeup brushes, because the person in front of you has had, you know, some sort of skin disease or infectious disease of the skin, and you don't want that transferred to you. And there are some rare and extreme but possible cases, like there's the one on the internet of the woman who wound up in a wheelchair. The other thing with your professional makeup artist, you want to make sure they didn't buy your makeup in the back alley of a swap meet, okay? Because that's another big issue, is people are buying counterfeit makeup. I don't know if you remember that video I did about 2 years ago, does your makeup have Dookie in it? And yeah, some of that counterfeit makeup, you don't know where it's sourced from. It looks the same in terms of the packaging. Usually it's really bad, but you know, you can, you don't know what's in it. You literally don't know what's in it. And there are toxic chemicals in there. And there were cases found where they tested and there was actually fecal matter in the counterfeit makeup. So you want to make sure you're working with a reputable makeup artist. And I am not a makeup artist, but Tamira, you've done people's makeup, because I was a trained beauty advisor and I actually became a trainer and went through certification training for that. In my state, you can do someone's makeup as long as it's in conjunction with the sale of a product. So you'd have to know that for your state. Why is that important? Because you want to make sure you're working with the right individual who you may choose to hire as your makeup artist. I know there are a lot of people, and I am not hating. I do not knock the hustle, but I'm also still about safety, right? And for me, I don't want to be liable for something, because you can end up being liable if you are an aspiring makeup artist and you aren't practicing makeup safety. You can actually put people in harm's way, which then in turn, you could be sued. And in some cases, you might even be able to be, you know, thrown in jail. So you want to make sure that your makeup artist is, one, using real branded makeup, not that they bought it in, like I said, the back alley of a swap meet. And you know, you should know, you should be able to tell. And it's also commensurate with the price. Like, a lot of people like to go with people who do $25 faces, $35 faces. Well, they're usually using cheaper, less quality makeup. And it does make a difference. It truly makes a difference in the quality of the product and knowing if it has toxins in it or not, whether it's a $2 lipstick compared to a $30 or $20 lipstick. It should have better quality ingredients. And in some cases, they're even, like I said, you know, especially with skincare, clinical grade ingredients, but you should be getting better quality ingredients. And, you know, do they list all of the ingredients on the package? Because a lot of them are having ingredients that are not listed on the package, and a lot of people don't know that. That was a wake-up call for me, not only with makeup, but even food, where ingredients are not on the label. A lot of food has sugar in it that is not on the label, and people don't realize that. So do your homework on your makeup artist and look online for reviews, not just of the quality of their work, but their customer service, and if people have breakout issues in that. People love to put someone on blast after they've been screwed over, when it could have been prevented had they done their homework in the first place, okay? Y'all shy today. Why is nobody talking to me? Come on in and talk to me, okay? So that's from if you're working with a makeup artist. So as far as your own makeup, let's talk about when you go to purchase it, okay? So if you're purchasing online, I tend to buy from the brand itself, from a representative or a advisor. Like I am partnered with a skincare company that has some makeup right now. So the brand itself, Ulta, Sephora. And if the brand has an official page on Amazon, then I might look at that too. Places like Beautylish are probably okay, but I tend to stick to the brand, Ulta or Sephora, to buy makeup. Because I'm just, like I said, I'm too bougie and picky for the apocalypse. And that's just how I am in life. That's how I was raised. I truly believe, and it's not just because I'm a marketing professional, that you get what you pay for. And when people buy these off brands, this cheap makeup, and that's why their skin looks the way it does, and that's why they end up with breakouts and other issues that they have. So that's the first thing. Where are you buying the makeup? Are you buying it from a reputable source? The advisor for a company or representative of a company, the brand itself, their website, Ulta or Sephora's website, or going into Ulta or Sephora. I personally would still even be cautious of major makeup brands when we talk about physical locations, being even in Walmart. And yes, Walmart is a national brand, and I'm going to explain to you why. Not makeup related. When my children were younger, I bought a box of brand name cereal at Walmart. And this story is hilarious to me because it speaks to my oldest daughter's personality. I bought a box of cereal from Walmart. Brand name, not bag, not off-brand, not Aldi. The brand name, you know, the one that everybody else tries to copy, right? And we got that box of cereal home. My daughter opened it and she was like, this ain't right. This does not taste right. And I look at the box and guess what? The date had already passed. And not like last week, like a month or two before that. And I had seen that as well with another small regional local grocery store. They had multiple locations, but I found that years ago with something I bought in their stores. So what that taught me was your Walmarts, your Dollar Tree, your Dollar General. Yeah, you might find a product in there, but usually for them to be able to get that product that usually is priced here for you and it's priced down here, it's usually because it's when they acquire it, it's pretty near stale dated, right? And by the time it makes it to the shelf, it probably is stale dated. But certain people, certain demographics don't care about that. They care more about the price until something happens, okay? So you want to be careful of that. I'm not speaking ill against Walmart. I'm just giving you personal experiences. So because of that experience, like I said, with something like cereal and some other things that I bought from there before, I would definitely be very cautious about what I'm putting on my face from there outside of typical mass market, you know, your oil of Olay and things like that there. And I personally have moved beyond that as I age in terms of what I want to put on my body. So where are you getting it? Okay. And then 2, when you're in the store, do not ever apply lipstick testers and that directly to your face, okay? Lipstick testers, eyeshadow testers, any of that, where you can just pick it up. You know, we've all heard those stories online of someone picking up a lipstick tester and then putting it on. And that is so gross because for those to be used, you're really not supposed to be using the product directly. Someone from the store, ideally back in the day, this is how they used to do it. But now it's out there for the regular public to access, right? So everything that's in the air, people breathing, spitting, babies, all kinds of stuff can be on that. So I like to do it on the back of my hand or on my wrist. And then they have, like Ulta especially has little bottles of alcohol near where they would like do people's brows or test on them, test foundations. And I like to spray that alcohol in my hand to get it off and then use a wipe. Why alcohol? Because it's going to disinfect, not just remove it, but disinfect. So don't use those testers directly on your lips or directly on your face. Use it on a tougher piece of skin, your hands, because your face is one of the most delicate areas of skin, especially under the eye, than anywhere else. You do not want everybody else's germs and nastiness on your face, okay? So that's in the store. Always make sure that I would never buy a tester from the store. It would always have to come in the original packaging and hopefully it's sealed, right? You just want to make sure you're not getting a return or somebody else's nasty stuff. And that's why I love stores like Ulta and Sephora, because they just really don't roll like that, okay? So as far as when you are at home, you want to be changing your pillowcase regularly and even use a silk pillowcase because that's going to not cause your face to scrunch up. And the reason you want to change it frequently is because I always tell the story of if you're at work, everybody has that coworker with the bad coffee breath who kind of spits when they talk. And so imagine all that stuff flying from that person's mouth that you can't even see, that's sitting on your skin at the end of the day. And first of all, anybody, I don't care whether you wear makeup, how much or how little, you need to cleanse your face before laying your head on your pillow at night. And here's why, because that coworker and all of that stuff that's spitting out in the air, and just all the nasty stuff in the air, is now on your face. And when you go to bed at night, now it's on your pillow. Talk about nasty. And so then it's transferring back and forth to your face, back and forth to your face. And that's one of the number one things that's going to cause a breakout, is that back and forth from your pillowcase to your face. So you want to be changing that frequently. And the silk pillowcases are going to be more hypoallergenic, meaning won't cause breakouts, than normal and cotton pillowcases, okay? So you want to be doing that. And for your whole body, because skin covers your whole body, your sheets. You'd be amazed at, I mean, you got to remember, the body sheds its skin every 28 days. And as you get older, guess what? It moves from 28 days to, the older you get, to upwards of like 54 days, okay? So as that is coming off, that's all kinds of literally like soil and dirt and toxins and just gross in your sheets. So you need to be changing your sheets and washing and disinfecting your sheets regularly to prevent breakouts, okay? The other culprit is your phone. I went to look for mine to grab it and hold it up, but it's up there. Your phone is actually 7 times more gross than a toilet. Your phone is straight up nasty, just absolutely nasty. So you need to not only clean it, you need to remove it from the case, because right underneath the case, where it's like coming over the phone and providing that little ledge, is all kind of dirt and germs under there. And a friend, a very good friend who used to work at a dermatologist's office, gave me that tip. Tell people to make sure they take it out of the case to actually clean it. Clean the screen, the sides, and the back, the entire surface. And I know Apple just recently came out and said you can use alcohol, or was it alcohol or bleach on an iPhone? I'll tell you, I've been using alcohol for a while. I'm just be honest with you. Or even a Clorox wipe to wipe mine down. And I haven't had any problem. I mean, I have problems, but I don't think they're due to that. Probably more so due to me dropping it, okay? So super, super important. Change your sheets, your pillowcase, and clean your phone regularly and frequently. After you've had a cold, you want to do all of that. No matter if it was just yesterday, if you've been sick at all, you need to, all of it, your duvet, your comforter, all of that needs to get even steamed, okay? And you also want to change your toothbrush, okay? You got to change your toothbrush. So, and your eyeliners, if you've had conjunctivitis, you need to change out your mascara. Conjunctivitis is pink eye. You need to change out your mascara, and you need to change out your eyeliner. Anything that goes around the eye, you got to throw it out, okay? Because you do not want a detached retina or any of the other nasty things that could come from, you know, having severe cases of pink eye. All of it has to get thrown out. Another thing, especially related to the coronavirus, and I flinch every time I see someone do it, I don't care even if it is your own makeup, do not blow. So you know how you get the little fallout sometimes in the eyeshadow palette? Brush it away, but do not blow at it, okay? So with coronavirus, they're telling us you can be a carrier of it. You can have it for several days before it shows up. So if you've been blowing on your palette, on your eyeshadows, or any other makeup, Houston, we've got a problem, okay? So don't do that. You can also spray, and I want everyone to do this weekend, spray your palettes down with isopropyl alcohol. I can never say that word. And you don't, I used to think, because I got one over there and I had to stop using it, 91%. No, you only want it to be a maximum of 70%. Ideally, 70% rubbing alcohol. Anything over that is not going to actually dry fast enough to really do the disinfecting and the work that needs to be done. And I fact-checked that, okay? Do not share your makeup with other people. Just don't. Do not. And if you do, definitely make sure that you are taking safety precautions, like if they're using your lipstick, using a wooden stick or a plastic spatula, or better yet, a stainless steel spatula to scrape it off. Scrape off the top first before they use it, and then scrape off what they're going to use. It's so much better to do that and practice safety. You can get herpes, cold sores, and God only knows what else. Do not share your makeup with other people, and definitely make sure that you are practicing safe makeup methods, okay? Knowing when to throw your makeup out. If you look at your makeup, it's going to have an expiration date on it in a lot of cases, or in the outer packaging, you'll see the little cosmetic icon and it'll say like 12 months. That means from the time you open it, 12 months after that, you should be good. After that, you should throw it out. Your eye makeup is the most important, that you change that every 3 months. And I'm going to put up that graphic again in the group of when you should start throwing stuff out. So everybody do a makeup bag clean out this weekend. I've already started. You see me looking around. I've already started. It's time to throw out. I found some stuff that was pretty old, you know, me of all people, but I found some stuff that was pretty old and opened it. If it smells bad, definitely throw it out. Your liquids are going to be the first in the prime area for bacteria to thrive. Powders, not as much, but it's not impossible. So you definitely want to spray those down. And again, if it's like, you know, 3, 4, 5 years old, it's probably time to replace it. And just from a minimalism standpoint, if you haven't used it, just like you go through your closet and it's like, I haven't worn that in God knows when, give it away, okay? I know, I've always been a makeup hoarder. Okay, using clean brushes and sponges. I'm going to show you this because I'm not using these right now. But these are, no, these are actually going in the throwaway pile. There's a couple of them here because I do them and I gotta run off and I throw them in the desk. But you can see what happens is I use one and then I come back and I got a bunch of them, so I use another one. But yeah, these are going in the garbage because I buy them in multiples because those are good for only 3 months. Everybody laughed at my post about your beauty blender from 2016. Those are good for 3 months, okay? They get wet, they're a sponge, they're porous. So, you know, you can usually cut them open and sometimes you will see that they have all kinds of nasty stuff in them. I'm looking for my scissors so I can cut this open and we can see what's inside. My fingers won't do it and I can't find the scissors, so I guess we'll do it another day. But they are a great place for bacteria to be and fester, okay? Even when you thought you've cleaned them. One girl online, they showed like deep down inside of there was like a big thick bunch of makeup. So 3 months, right? And you need to clean these after every single use. Your brushes, I recommend at least every 2 weeks, preferably once a week. Clean your makeup brushes. And I'll dig out an old video, even if I have to edit some things out. But your makeup brushes, at least twice a week, preferably once a week. I know some people will do them after every use. Great for them that they have that kind of time. I would love to. Or if I were like Scott Barnes and I had my own brush person who after every time I used it, they were cleaning it, that would be awesome. But I'm not there yet. I'm just not. So once a week, preferably at the most 2 weeks, okay? With warm soapy water. I know some people say spraying them with alcohol. That's great if you're doing multiple faces and you've got one brush set to spray with rubbing alcohol in between. But to me, it's like sanitizer, right? It's great if you're on the go and you don't necessarily have the capability to wash your hands to use sanitizer. But as soon as you can, you should wash your hands, right? In the way that we just described. And that's the same thing with your brushes. Just doing your brushes with alcohol. One, I've literally seen where it's ruined people's brushes, and maybe they were inferior brushes. I don't know. But like I said, when I really think about it, that's like saying you only use dry shampoo on your hair. No, you still need to actually wash and condition your hair. And the same thing with your brushes, because that's the other piece of it is alcohol is, and see, this hasn't even been used, and look at that coming off of there from, you know, I'll even wash brushes that appear to be clean. When I do brush cleaning, everything gets washed. I lost my train of thought too. But you gotta wash those regularly. Like I said, it's like dry shampoo. You can't just use dry shampoo on your hair. You gotta wash your hair every so many days, and your hair will tell you, because it will get greasy and it will get nasty. That's where I was going. These are often made of, unless you buy vegan ones where they're definitely using synthetic, they're like goat hair, squirrel hair, and I actually prefer that to synthetic. I'm not even gonna lie. Don't hate me for that. I don't hate you for not doing it. But yeah, so they need, just like your hair needs washing and conditioning, your brushes do as well. Okay, so that's once a week. And lastly, and we're gonna do a demo for this, you need, let me take my lashes off, you need to cleanse your face. Girl, wash your face, because your face is picking up all the nasty stuff that's in the air, the invisible stuff, the free radicals, and that can and will age you, okay? That can and will age you. Plus, it can be very damaging to your skin. Just like you would wash your body, you need to cleanse your face. And you need to cleanse your face daily, regardless of if you wear makeup or not. And speaking of all the nasty stuff that's out there, I'm going to be honest with you. Especially good quality makeup actually protects your skin from a lot of that. It protects your skin from sun damage, from the free radicals. And then if you're cleansing on top of that, that's one of the reasons I look and I have not a stitch of bronzer or highlighter on, and look at how I'm glowing under this light. It's absolutely amazing. And part of that is due to using quality makeup and quality skincare. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to bust out the Aqua Lumiere Hydrating Cleanser. I'm going to do, I always do two full pumps when I got a full face of makeup. I love this. It reminds me of shaving cream. So I love that. It's 5 ounces. It's huge. Absolutely huge. And so we're going to, I'd like to rub it through my fingers to warm it up because it's kind of cold right now. And we're going to rub it in, even over the lips. Counterclockwise. I like to bring it down the neck. And then we're going to go eyebrows and eyes, and it's not burning, it's not stinging. And if you don't have makeup on, you can actually let it sit. That's what I do in the morning. I let it sit because it's 3-in-1. So as we've discussed before, it's your makeup remover. Typically, you have to remove your makeup, right? This is powerful enough to remove the makeup, and it's also pulling out impurities from the skin. So that's why I like to let it sit a little bit, so that it's pulling out all those impurities that have sat on the skin all day and come in contact with the skin. So let it work and let it get up. It's not foaming. I've heard that foaming cleansers are actually not really good for you. It's not sudsy. It's an emollient cleanser. So it's got the baobab oil in there. And so that is very silky and viscous in nature. So it's got some slickness to it, but it's not greasy. And that's what I love about it. So it's very much a cream cleanser. And look, you use you can't see it with that light, bamboo washcloths, not terry cloth, much softer. I never really bought those terry cloth towels anyway, because your girl is bougie. I'm telling you, I'm too bougie for the apocalypse. So, but these are bamboo, and we all know what bamboo is, right? So, and then when you take it off, I like to press it and then remove. Okay, you don't want to be too vigorous. I see some girls, different companies do their skincare, and they're so rough with their skin, and that's where that comes from allergies and wiping. So I like to press it and wipe it off. Okay, and look at that. Everything came off. Everything came off. And if we were in the bathroom, I prefer it to do it down here because of the better light. And you can see it on other videos where it removes very, very easily out of the towel. You just rinse it out. With darker makeup, you have to rinse it a little longer, and that's okay because out that melanin, girl. That's the beauty of melanin. Okay. Whew. Make sure I got everything. Sometimes the corner of my eyes, it's a little rough. And the other thing is, it's really more than a 3-in-1. It's also a 4-in-1 because it's pH balanced. So you don't have to use what? A toner. You don't have to, okay? For the second piece, we're actually going to use a sample packet because my serum will be here tomorrow. So we're going to use the Hydrating Serum. It also has hyaluronic acid in there. And I know some of you have asked for samples, and so those will be going out. They're very high in demand, so I don't often have them or have a lot of them, okay? But you would get the 4 products, and tonight we are going to do something special. So we're using the toner, that's a toner, the serum. It's clear, it's got the hyaluronic acid in there. It's got malachite in there, which was used by the ancient Egyptians. And so you kind of press it into the skin and always go from the inside out and up. You want to lift. Again, I see some of these girls just going to town on their skin, and I'm like, girl, you're causing more damage than fixing with what you're doing. And I like to also press it in and up the neck and hit the ears and the back of the neck too. Okay. So pushing that into the skin. You can hear it, so like, and my skin just bounces back. That's the elasticity that bounce back. It's just, and as you get older, your skin loses that bounce back. And that's why you need good quality skincare. And with, in this case, the clinical grade. The clinical grade. And we're going to use the eye cream next. And I always use the ring finger, because it's the weakest. It's gonna apply the least amount of pressure. And what this has done to my eye bags has been amazing. Outside of last night with all this coronavirus and world shutdown apocalypse talk, I noticed that they seemed a little puffier, but they still look good compared to where they were. Right now they're looking a little darker. And I like to bring it up and out because I don't have any crow's feet and I don't want any. All right, so a lot of you liked the picture the other day, the side by side, okay? And I talked about this. This is my favorite product from the skincare line, and this is the Dream Luxe Sleeping Mask. So it's basically like a night cream. So 2 to 3 times a week, I take a healthy portion of this. I actually do 3 pumps, and it is jam-packed. The benefits list on this itself is like 2 pages long of just benefits, right? So it's like a really, really intense and powerful sleeping mask. That's why I like to lay it on pretty thick. I don't necessarily go under the eye with it. You see I'm going right to there, because one thing I will tend to do is try to load everything under the eye, and the eye is the thinnest area of skin on your body, and so it will be the first hello to age you. And so packing a lot of product on there actually causes more weight and makes it more crepey in that. So we're going to avoid that. And for the Dream Mask and the serum and moisturizer, I like to kind of push it in the skin. Now, with these being clinical grade products, they naturally are going to penetrate into the further layers of the skin, which means that's where that glow comes from, and you know how you get results, really intense results, and faster. So that's why I like to kind of push it in there too, to just really, really help it. And then I just leave that on all night, and it doesn't feel like I have something heavy or intense on my face. It's very light. It's there, and look at how I glow, and it feels good. And my makeup today, I was like, oh, my makeup is not looking as good today. And I'm chalking it up to I didn't do the mask last night or the night before. So I'm like, you definitely need to do your mask tonight and go live and show it to everybody. So your skincare, this skincare, 2 years from the date of open. 2 years from the date of open. And yes, we still have no harsh toxic chemicals, no parabens, no, I can't even pronounce it, phthalates, so just really, really trace amounts of a very particular type of ingredient that will help, you know, stabilize the product. That's part of it being clinical grade, is the stability of the product and the ingredients, and it lasting for 2 years without bacteria or bacterial growth and nasty stuff getting in it. So if you have any other questions about safety of product, just drop it in the comments. And like I said, I'm going to be sharing some more posts, you know, bringing up, finding and digging out some older posts, because it's all there. That's the great thing. I've done a lot of this work before, so it's just constantly repurposing and putting it in front of you. And now this is the product that I say feels like a spa. It smells amazing, a very light first scent. I mean, and just look at that glow. Look at that glow. It's amazing. It's beautiful. I feel beautiful. So that is it, and I will chat with y'all later. Bye.